Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Due to the high position Hazrat Ibraheem AS holds among the prophets and messengers, his story is told in various ways in various places in the Qur'an. If in one place it is mentioned in summarized form, the same event is related at another place in more detail, and in some places various descriptions are given with the aim of highlighting his admirable qualities. According to the Torah, Hazrat Ibrahim AS was an inhabitant of a village in Iraq called Ur. He belonged to the people of Fidan. His people were idol worshipper. In the Gospel of St. Barnabas, there is a clear statement that his father was a carpenter who used to make wooden idols for the various tribes of his people, which he used to sell to them. However, from the very beginning, Allah gave him insight and guidance, and he realized that the idols could neither see nor hear, and neither could they answer the call of the afflicted. Such idols could not give any benefit nor cause any harm. There were no differences between these idols and wooden toys. He used to see how his father used to make those lifeless sculpture pieces with his own hands, and how he used to construct the nose, ears, face and eyes according to his own fancies, and used to see how he sold it to the buyers. He then thought, can that be God? Or can such an idol be considered to an image of God? When Ibrahim a.s. saw how his people were involved in idol worship, star worship, and the worship of the heavenly bodies, so much so that there remained no place in their hearts for Allah's oneness and absoluteness, and that they had cast aside the belief in Allah's oneness and uniqueness, he took courage, and while relying on Allah alone, announced to them, O people, what is that? I see you worshipping idols made by your own hands. Are you so asleep in your negligence that out of lifeless wood you prepare forms, that if they are not made according to your wishes, you break them up and mold other forms? You then, having made them, considering them to possess the ability to bring harm or benefit, stop these nonsensical acts and believe in Allah's oneness. Bend in obedience before Him, the Creator of all the universe. However, the people did not heed His call, and because they were deprived of listening to the truth, they started to play the fool with the Messenger of Allah, and became more and more stubborn and disobedient. Nabi Ibraheem AS noticed that the central point of the people's idol worship came out of his own house, and that Azar's idol worship and idol making was the basis for their actions. For this reason, it seemed logical that his conveying the message of truth should begin from his own family home. Hence he addressed his father Azar, O father, the way of worshipping God and manner of acquiring knowledge of Him, which you have chosen, and which is being portrayed as the ways of the ancient fathers, these are all wrong and false. The correct path of truth is only that to which I call you. O my father, only the belief in the oneness of Allah is the path of salvation, not that which you have made your own hands and worship of idols. Discard that path and accept the path of the oneness of Allah, so that you may acquire the pleasure of Allah in this world and the everlasting happiness of the hereafter. Unfortunately, these words of advice had no effect upon Azar. In fact, he started to threaten the young man, O Ibrahim, if you do not desist from speaking evil of our gods, I shall stone you to death. When Ibrahim a.s. saw the matter had gone too far in this sense, that on the one side he has to honor his father, while on the other hand there rested on here the responsibility of conveying the message, he considered the matter clearly and decided to do that which was in line with which is expected from a chosen servant and an exalted messenger of Allah. He desisted from answering the harsh words of the father with harsh words. He desisted from using words of humiliation and insult, and in fact replied with softness and mildness. O father, if that is your reply to me, then today I greet you with salam. I cannot cast aside Allah's true religion and the path of truth, and neither can I ever worship idols. Today I depart from you, but will continue to beg to Allah to pardon your faults, that you may be guided aright and thus be saved from Allah's punishment. After the debate with his father, and after it became clear that Azar was not inclined to listen to his son's call and invitation towards guidance, Ibrahim A.S. decided to more away from him and to widen the scope of his invitation towards Islam. He therefore did not only address his father, but address his message to all the people. However, how would the people discard the practices of their forefathers? The people refused to listen to Ibrahim a.s., and like the idols, they also became deaf to his pleas. They acted like blind, deaf, and dumb beings. When Ibrahim a.s. insisted on an answer to his question as to what benefit or harm these idols could deliver to them, they replied, "We are not keen to argue with you over these things. We only know this, that our forefathers had been worshipping them all along, and we shall continue to do so." The Ibrahim a.s. drew attention to one God and said to them, "But as for me, I make an enemy of your gods." In other words, I am without any fear of your idols and declare war against them. If they are able to take any revenge against me, let them try. I only take as my Lord He who created the whole universe, He who created me and guided me and feed me and gives me to drink. When I am sick, He heals me. He has my life and death in His hands, and for my fault, I hope He will on the day of Qiyamah pardon me, and I pray to Him, "O my Lord, grant me the ability to make the correct judgment and join me into the ranks of the righteous one, and grant me truth in my speech and make me of the heirs of paradise." However, Azar and his people were under no circumstances prepared to accept the truth, and the rejection thereof exceeded all limits.